All right, today we're diving into something called AIOps. That's artificial intelligence for IT operations. And trust me, it's a concept that is completely shaking up how businesses handle their super complex tech environments. So let's just jump right in. But before we get too deep, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? Your IT team is just completely overwhelmed, constantly putting out fires, buried under this never-ending mountain of alerts. You know, it's a super common problem, and it's exactly what AIOps is here to fix.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about when IT operations, when they break.
I mean, it's really as simple as this. Modern IT is just drowning in a sea of data. We're talking logs, metrics, events, all streaming in from every direction all at once. It's way, way beyond what any human team could ever hope to keep up with, let alone analyze. And you know, that leads to some pretty huge challenges, right? You've got this insane data overload. Then you throw in the complexity of today's hybrid multi-cloud setups. And on top of all that, the business is always demanding more speed, more agility. So what happens? You get something called alert fatigue. The team is just so swamped with noise, all these little pings and alarms, that the really critical stuff, it just gets lost, missed completely. So, okay, how do we actually fix this mess? Well, that brings us right to the AIO's transformation. And really, it's all about working smarter, not just harder.
So what is AIOps, really? Well, at its heart, it's about using AI and machine learning in IT operations. But the real magic, the big idea here, is the shift it creates. It takes your teams from being reactive, firefighters, to being proactive problem solvers. We're talking about predicting and stopping issues before a user even knows something's wrong. That's a huge deal.
And when you put them side by side, the difference is it's night and day. Traditional IT, it's reactive, it's manual. Everything's stuck in its own little silo. AIOps completely flips the script. It's proactive, it's automated, and it's unified. It pulls everything together to see the whole picture, not just little pieces. Okay, so how does it actually do all this? It's a pretty cool process. First, the platform just sucks in all that data we were talking about, every log, every metric. Then the machine learning part kicks in. It starts to learn what's normal for your specific system. So when something weird happens, an anomaly, it spots it instantly. It can see these hidden patterns. From there, it generates these amazing insights like, hey, this server looks like it might fail in the next hour. And the best part, it can then automatically trigger an action to fix the problem. A lot of the time, a human doesn't even have to lift a finger.
And all of this is building to one single massive benefit, finally making that leap from reactive to proactive.
So where does this proactive power come from? Well, it's got a few tricks up its sleeve. You've got anomaly detection, which is basically spotting anything that's out of the ordinary. Then there's intelligent event correlation. That's a fancy way of saying it connects the dots between a bunch of seemingly random alerts to find the real problem. It automates finding the root cause, and of course, it uses predictive analytics to see trouble coming from a mile away. And the impact of this, it's massive. Remember that alert fatigue we talked about? Well, get this, AIOps can slash that noise, those endless alert streams, by up to 95%. Think about that. It's like having this incredibly smart filter that just sifts through all the junk and hands you the one or two things that actually matter. It lets your team finally focus. And when you cut out all that noise, it has a direct effect on the workload. Because you're automating all those repetitive, soul-crushing tasks, organizations are seeing their IT workload drop by as much as 40%. That is a huge productivity boost. So let's put that in real-world terms. What does a 40% reduction mean? On average, we're talking about saving around 35 hours a week. 35 hours. That's basically getting a whole new team member. And all that time can now go into innovation and cool new projects instead of just, keeping the lights on. Okay, but saving time is one thing. How do you actually prove the value to the people holding the purse strings? That brings us to our next section, measuring what actually matters. Because look, for any IT leader, it all comes down to ROI, right? You can't just go to your boss and say, hey, AIOps just feels better. You have to back it up with hard numbers. You got to track the right KPIs. And some of the most critical metrics here are what we call the mean time to metrics. You have MTTD, or mean time to detect, how fast you find out there's a problem. MTTA, mean time to acknowledge,
how fast someone starts working on it. And the big one, MTTR, mean time to resolve. That's how fast you actually fix it. AIOps just crushes all of these, making them way, way shorter.
And really, the name of the game is driving that mean time to resolution, that MTTR, as close to zero as possible. Because think about it, less downtime means happy users, which means a happy business. And AIOps is the key to making that happen. But honestly, fixing things faster is just the start. The real goal, the holy grail of AIOps, is what's called proactive resolution. This is where you're not just measuring how fast you fix things, but how many problems you detect and solve before anyone, and I mean anyone, even notices. That's when you know you've really made it.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The whole industry is moving this way. Gartner is saying that by 2026, the majority of CIOs will be measuring success based on user experience. It's not just about, is the server on anymore? It's about, are our users having a good, seamless experience? And that's exactly what AIOps delivers. So where does this all leave us? Well, it means it's time for a whole new IT playbook.
And I think this quote from Oshri Moyle at Atera just nails it. He says, AI isn't just transforming IT, it's transforming how we measure IT. And that's so true. This isn't just about getting a new tool. It's a totally different way of thinking. It changes the entire philosophy of how we run and measure IT. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. The real advantage of AIOps is that it transforms your IT department from a reactive cost center, the place you call when things break, into a proactive engine for growth. It frees up your most talented people to actually innovate. It makes your systems rock solid reliable, and it gives the entire business the data it needs to make smarter decisions. It's a total game changer. And that really leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Right now, is your IT team fighting fires, or are they preventing them? Because honestly, the answer to that question could be the difference between getting ahead and falling behind in the next few years.